Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the record Tennessee. That was a powerful record. If you could kind of go into, what inspired you to write that record in the group and to perform it.
Yeah, that song was actually the last song that we put on this record. I mean, on that first record. We had finished the whole album, and I was, my grandmother that I spent all my summers with in Tennessee, she passed away. And so my family and I went down to Tennessee to celebrate her life. And then on our way back from that funeral, my only brother Terry died as well, and he was only 29 at the time. And so the last place I saw both of them were in Tennessee, and so I went ahead and like wrote this song about their lives. And Lord, I've really been real stressed, down and out. I'm losing ground, and although I'm black and proud, my problems got me pessimistic. And then it talks about my grandma passed, my brother's gone. I never at once felt so alone. And so it's just all about what I was going through at that time. And to this day, it's still one of my most, emotional songs when I rock it. Like sometimes I'll break down a little bit on that song just because of what it means to me. And it was our first single. It blew up. It's known as one of the top 500 songs in rock and roll history. So it's got a lot of love, and all of that means a lot for me, especially considering why I wrote it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, that's still a powerful record. It's timeless. You could put that on and people gonna feel good instantly. You know what I'm saying? So
That's love. Yeah.
right, right. Most definitely. Especially at a time like now with COVID, people going through so many things, spiritual challenges, mental challenges. That's a record that makes somebody feel better. You know what I'm saying? Listening to it.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah, I
relate
agree with
most definitely. And let me see. Oh, I want to ask you about Everyday People. That's another record that put people in a different space. If you could talk about
you.
that record, how y'all put that together.
Yeah, that record was an interesting record because, like, being from Milwaukee, being from the Midwest, consciousness wasn't really popular. So back in the like late '80s, early '90s, most dudes was on gangster stuff, and like the consciousness trying to be like respecting our sisters, being about black empowerment, being about supporting each other. That wasn't really the thing at that time. So me having dreads, me having African outfits, I used to get messed with when I would hang out. And so that song is talking about one of those experiences where you got people that's trapped with ignorance in their mind and not thinking about us as a collective and rising up. Instead, they're just thinking about hanging out and just doing whatever. And so that song sort of details that story, right? And what at the end of the day is just saying is that even though I'm conscious, I'm still an everyday person. Like at the end of the day, you still gotta show respect. I show respect. You still gotta show love. I show love. Like things like that. Also, it's really like put to a backdrop of this crazy, like smooth sample, which the first version of that song, I didn't use that sample. I used like a whole nother beat. But when I did the remix, it's called the Metamorphosis remix. I put this Bob James loop on there, and it took it to another level. And then I made the rhyme instead of rhyming it regular. I put a melody to the rhyme, and it took it to another level. I'm grateful. It gave us our second hit single, and it gave us longevity as far as the music industry is concerned. So I love that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Big shout out to Bob James. Yeah.
Yep. Shout.
Y'all had some bangers on that one, man, for sure. Mr. Wendell, for sure.